Jeff Gordon's victory at Sonoma rekindled images of his Ford championship.
Yeah! We did it! When we started this year, I told the guys, screw number one. We want to go for 11th, and we set our sights high, but not too high. You know, when you win 11th, you're like number one of the rest of everyone else. So I'm not Jeff Gordon.
Will Ferrell playing the role of Jeff Gordon at the NASCAR Awards Night in New York last December.
And Tony Stewart is back on pit road. He gave the condition of his car to the crew. A little loose up off. The center is tolerable. They didn't tell him what they were going to do. They said, we're going to fix you up. We would assume air pressure until we see a wrench go in. And a wrench is going to go in the rear of this car. Chassis adjustment as well. Marty.
Leader Matt Kenseth on top of the screen. He said, this is the best we've got, guys. The car's too tight at the end of the run. I'm not sure we can keep up with everybody else. Quarter turn on the left rear wedge. Great stop, Allen.
Can Jeff Gordon's team get the lead for their driver away from Matt Kenseth on this stop? A Ford tire change, just a slight air pressure adjustment. Here comes Kenseth down pit road. Gordon's car there. You see Mark. It's going to be close. I think Kenseth got him. Matt, a great stop.
He will be the 24th car on the lead lap.
Stay out. You need to be saving all you can, man. Stay out.
Letard's saying stay out, but save all the fuel you can.
To the line when they come by this time. But Gordon clearly closing the gap on Kenseth.
Yeah, Gordon moved up to the high line that time and gained a lot in 3 and 4.
And he is right there now.
He is there, right there. You're right, Bill.
Look at the difference in speed there.
He was a third of a second faster than Matt Kenseth.
Marty?
A little bit earlier on the radio, they told Matt Kenseth, they said the 24 has moved up in turns 3 and 4, and it seems to have helped him. But Matt said, you know what, the bottom works best for me. He's committed to the bottom. Look at that 24. He's up half a lane, and it seems to be working.
Jeff Gordon won at Sonoma 2 weeks ago, then was caught up in a late race crash at Daytona last week. That crash cost him critical points, knocked him out of the top 10, but right now he's on the bumper of the leader. Oh! Kenseth goes around off the front end of Gordon. And automatically you think of what happened at Bristol between the 17 and the 24 that resulted in that shoving incident on pit road after the race.
I'd take a look at that again. I think that Kenseth probably got a little bit loose going in there because Gordon was so close.
Be a penalty if NASCAR is at all consistent. I mean, that was plain as day, boys.
Take a look at it.
That's Kenseth saying.
Yeah.
Matt Kenseth said.
Only two people really know. Matt Kenseth and Jeff Gordon. This is Bristol earlier this year. Kurt Busch goes around Matt Kenseth. Then Kenseth racing hard with Gordon. Got into his bumper. Then after the race, Kenseth showed his displeasure with Busch, who won, and went over to apologize to Jeff Gordon. Matt admitted he probably should have waited in the heat of the battle for that to settle down. Now let's take a look at what just happened here. And keep in mind, this could send us to overtime, and fuel could be a factor.
The 17 slowed down for some reason right there. I mean, whether he got loose or whatever, I'm not saying that it was Matt's fault that he got spun out, but it did look like his car slowed down. Right there.
We heard Kenseth tell his crew on the radio that, what did he say, if NASCAR is consistent, they will black flag the 24. Is that not what he said?
Yes, and remember that Jeff Gordon is on probation. And we can tell you that NASCAR is reviewing the same replays we're seeing. The 24 crew of Jeff Gordon. Marty?
Well, Bill, what Matt Kenseth is arguing.
It does look like that Matt was not able to get off this second corner as well. Well, obviously, Jeff Gordon is so much better there, and looked like Matt was trying to keep the car on the bottom of the racetrack and not slide up, and did slow down a little bit.
And the way that I see that, you can't penalize Jeff for that. I mean, because for whatever reasons, he didn't get on the gas, whatever, but that definitely wasn't a blatant shot at Matt Kenseth. It wasn't on purpose from Jeff Gordon.
So you're saying it's a racing incident?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Jeff Gordon, the race leader. Burton, Stewart, Kyle Busch. Right now, Kenseth has scored in the 5th position.
Steve, has your driver said anything to you about the contact with the 17?
No, I mean, he didn't have to say nothing to me. It just appeared that 42 kind of got them both checked up, and appears we got into the back of them. You know, we don't like to rate like that. I'm sure he didn't do it on purpose, but all we got to do now is make sure we get enough fuel to get to the end.
That's my next question. Is you're worried about running out of fuel with this caution extended, aren't you?
I mean, I think the whole field's worried about running out of fuel, but it is what it is. Everybody's going to race it, and we're just going to worry about our stuff.
All right, thanks, Steve.
And I bet Jeff, the first thing he does if he wins this thing is apologize the first thing he gets out of the car, because I'm sure he's thinking about that right now, is what happened at Bristol and then what happens here.
Marty?
All right, let's talk to Robbie Reiser here.
Yeah, Jeff Gordon made his first radio call to his pit under this yellow just now, asking his crew chief, Steve Letarte, what they wanted to do about fuel. Steve basically said to him, we're going for it. We're going to stay out there, run as hard as we can to try and win this race, and let's see what happens.
Remember, we talked about it when the caution came out on lap 199. I asked you, BP, how far they could go and how many laps were left, and it was just about the same number.
Exactly. And we said that Jeff Gordon had run 69 laps. I think that was a mistake. I think we had some mathematics arithmetic.
Well, but he came in, he did stop there, but he also stopped Tony Stewart on the apron of the track.
And he's wiggling the car, which means he's out of fuel.
Because some of those guys stopped 6 laps later earlier in the race. So you're right, that count for Gordon was not correct. Dave, what do you got?
Conversation to Tony was, we should be fine, but then Tony radioed back, I'm out right now.
Man, that's going to be from 3rd to last.
2 laps to go.
Harvick down on the bottom takes a spot, or trying to take the spot back away from Kyle Busch, but Kyle has none of it.
It's a great run. There's Junior back on that high side, trying to work his way by Johnson for the 5th position.
Tony Stewart has just gotten to his pit stall on pit road, fueling the car and trying to get it refired. The field coming around to get the white flag this time. Leader has the white flag, final lap of the race. The caution comes out from here on in, the race is over.
One eye out the windshield, one eye on the fuel pressure. Gauge.
Jeff Burton, that 31 car, closes in. Harvick still trying to get by Busch for 3rd spot. Here comes Gordon.
Looks like he's going to make it. Jeff Gordon's going to score his first win at Chicago.
Good job.
All right, down to pit road to Matt.
Big sigh of relief for Steve Letarte and the 24 guys. Jeff said this was an important race, the perfect test to see how far you'd come on this type of track.
Yeah, I mean, it's no secret we struggled on these 1.5 miles last year. And, you know, we won a Sonoma, and that was spectacular. But come here and win a 1.5 miles, I just thank everybody at Hendrick Motorsports. Stuck behind me, stuck behind that driver, and I think we proved we're back.
Definitely. The 24 guys on their way to victory lane. First win here for Hendrick Motorsports, Bill.
Thanks, Matt. Chevrolet congratulates Jeff Gordon in the 24 Monte Carlo SS on another great Team Chevy victory. 25 of the last 34 NASCAR Manufacturers Championships and counting. Chevy and American Revolution. You can see the debris being thrown onto the racetrack at Jeff Gordon, and that's really disappointing.
Low class.
Yeah.
I don't care what kind of fan it is in this sport. You throw beer bottles at a race driver after winning a race, you don't belong back to a NASCAR race.
That hurts the sport, because that's all people are going to write about now. Those Dave Burns.
And Jeff Burton with a very strong run.
Jeff Gordon making his way into victory lane. His first win here at Chicago.
So we can mark one of the racetracks off that he hasn't won at.
His second win of the season and second in the last 3 races. And the win at Sonoma, the wreck at Daytona, the victory here. His 75th Nextel Cup win. That puts him 1 behind Dale Earnhardt. It's the 5th win of the season for Hendrick Motorsports, and they will be talking about this one for a while. Kenseth.
You guys are right. These fans have no reason at all. But one reason that we had so much demonstration here at Chicago, it's close to Wisconsin. And I'm sure a lot of fans came across the border down to see their favorite sons do well today.
Still no excuse.
No, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
Unofficially, Gordon back in the top 10 in the championship standings. Jeff Gordon had not won a non-restrictor plate super speedway race since he won at the Brickyard almost 2 years ago.
We saw at Michigan about a month ago, this car ran awfully well, and today put a cap on it.
Allen's with him in victory lane.
Yeah, standing in a puddle of sports drink and soft drink and all the rest, maybe a little water too. His crew chief Steve Letarte coming in for a word. Well, Jess, scratch one of those tracks off your list that you hadn't won at yet. You've got Chicago here today. Congratulations.
Thank you. What an awesome race car Steve Letarte and all these guys on the DuPont Chevrolet gave me today. There's no doubt on the long runs we had the best car, and I hate to win one like that. You know, Matt, he ran a great race, and you know, we had our troubles in Bristol, and that had nothing to do with what happened there. I got in there real hard, and he blocked me a little bit, a couple of times, and you know, I jumped back in the gas. I don't know if Casey on that side made him have to hesitate, but you know, I just trying to get the best run I could and got into him. So sorry to Matt, but yeah, what a great day, man. I tell you, it feels so darn good to get a victory on a mile and a half at a place like this, and just from start to finish, it's just an awesome, awesome day for us.
Obviously, the incident where you got the lead will be what everybody talks about after the race. You closed quite a bit of ground in the meantime leading up to that. Tell me about the last 25 laps or so.
Well, like I said, my car was just so good on the long runs, and you know, I know that's going to take away from this win, but nothing should take away from how good this race car was today, how hard these guys fought. You know, everybody that has worked so hard to get ourselves in this position to even have a shot to win. And I think we could have won it either way, but you know, it was going to be quite a battle. I think Matt knew that. He blocked me on the restart, and if I wanted to spin him, I could have spun him then. And you know, I wanted to race him, and we got down in there, and you know, I had a run on me, blocked me again. You know, I just couldn't believe he was doing that. And then you know, I got such a great run on him. You know, I'm not going to back out. I want to win. I want to win at Chicago because I haven't yet. And you know, we got a lot of points to make up to get in that chase.
I was just going to ask, third question, a championship thought. 2 wins in the last 3 weeks.
Well, we're hungry. You know, and it's obvious the way we're performing out there, and as hard as we're working, and we've been testing a lot, and it's paying off. You know, we're hungry. We want to get in that chase, and we want to be a factor when we get in it.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Woo-hoo!
Jeff Gordon wins in Chicago.